Hello and welcome back to the Taylor Seminars, where we talk about how Taylor Swift turns life into poetry. My name is Hannah, and I'm here with my co-host Exquisite. Hello.
Hello, Hannah.
We are just having a good old time because we are at one of the cute songs on Evermore, and Exquisite thought it was very funny. I called it cute in our like pre-sesh, preview. But she's cute,
hmm She's cute. Yeah,
and we this is the 12th track, 11th track.
it's something. I
Yeah.
think 12.
So we
It's
are
12.
great. We are deep in the Evermore woods, um, and this song is, I believe, written and produced by. Oh, sorry. Long story short, was produced by Aaron Dessner. So Taylor was like, "Well, you do all that. I don't want to do anything," and written and produced by. Sorry, written by Taylor and Aaron, which means he probably sent her the track. She sang to it, and then she's like, "Figure it out," and then moved on. So
Mhm.
this song, to me, the reason I call it cute is because I think the superior version of the song is The Last Great American Dynasty. And they're both very similar. They literally have the same kind of drum beat driving through.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the way it sounds, not like lyrical
Oh, yeah.
content.
Oh, no, no. The lyrical content is great. Lyrical content is great. I'm talking more about like, oh, like, she was like, hey, let's do it again. But this time more about me.
She was like, "Oh wait, I really like that beat. Can we rerun it?"
Yeah, yeah, run it back. It
Because
is.
Hannah, I was really about to tell you, like, you're wrong. They are nothing
You're about
alike.
to attack me.
I was about to jump.
No, I love this song. I was so sad that I have a friend who went to the Toronto shows and got to hear this, and I was like, ugh, like this is the this is a Taylor Swift capital T capital S song, right? Where she looks at her life and she's like, I survived, I made it. And it's a happy version. She's had sadder versions of this. She's a very happy version, very like, I will survive. And I will say, I remember there was like a critic being like, again? And I was like, yeah, and she'll do it again.
Also, I will say there's a line in this song that I'm like, wait a minute, that's actually kind of sad, but we'll get there when we
We'll
get
get
there.
there. We'll get there. But yes, I love this song. Think it's part of that incredible run. That's the back half of Evermore, and it is some of the songs in this album have a bit of autofiction, a lot of characters, a lot of imagined dramas that have been pulled from her life. This one is very clearly a lot more Taylor than we've had in the past couple of songs. Like this is like, yes, I'm still writing about my life. An obvious beacon. So let's jump in. Let me start with verse 1. Fatefully, I tried to pick my battles till the battle picked me. Misery, like the war of words I shouted in my sleep. And you passed right by. I was on an alley surrounded on all sides. The knife cuts both ways. If the shoe fits, walk in it till your high heels break.
Uh, wow.
Wow.
I just love, um, and I think part of the reason I love it is because it kind of basically opens up with Taylor's idea of fate. So she says fatefully, as in she was always going to be destined to end up in those fights. And it's really funny for what we know with TS12 that she's kind of given up on this idea of fate. And again, you could write a whole essay tracking fate in Taylor songs and how she responds to that. In fact, I have and will. Anyway, but she opens up the song about long story short as in a storybook, right? And when you say long story short, it's like a phrase to be like, let me get to the point really quickly. When I say long story short, it's always still a long story. So I don't know why I use it. Um, but she's like, listen, fatefully, it's always going to happen. I tried to pick my battles till the battles picked me.
Yeah, and to pick your battles is to choose the ones that you think are worth fighting, that you're willing to bleed a little for, the ones that you think you'll win, the ones that are most important to you. And she tried, but then the battle picked her to be like, you're an easy mark. We're going to get you, right? Like, she's like, like, why did they choose to have drama with me? And there is a literary term for this. I tried to pick my battles till the battle picked me, like where it flips the words around. Okay, I looked it up. Antimetabole. I don't know. It's a phrase it's a phrase is repeated with the words reversed in order to highlight the irony within the inversion. Also used in "I swear I don't love the drama. The drama loves me." Kind of some fun wordplay going out here. Why was she yelling misery, Exquisite?
Look, she was having nightmares. So look, there was a lot of I love war of words that I shouted in my sleep because we know from midnights that in like the Great War, all of that, she's like, I'm kept up by nightmares. And actually, some of them may be about you, some of them may be about my past, some of them may be about me. Um,
Yeah,
and it's causing so much misery.
she was sucker punching walls, cursed you as I sleep talked, right? Like she
Hmm.
wakes up screaming from dreaming, right? Like this pain and torture has like invaded even this peaceful slumber she's supposed to have, right? And for me, like, when you ever have a conversation with somebody and like, especially someone you don't like, you're having an antagonistic relationship, and then later you're like, oh, I wish I could have said this. Oh, I wish I should have said that, and then they wouldn't have been able to, like, I feel
Hmm.
like it's so she's replaying those moments in her mind and trying to win that war.
I rewind the tape, but all it does is pause
Yeah,
at the very moment all was lost.
yeah,
Um, but we'll get there.
yeah.
Trust me, we'll get there that one.
And then you, so she's not. Oh, you're talking to somebody. So you
Yeah.
person, you passed. I was fighting for my life in this alley, and you were like, oh, you passed like a. Well, we'll get to what you passed like later, but you passed by. Like,
Whoa. You
whoa,
didn't even stop.
you didn't
Like
stop.
it's not like you were supposed to stop, though one could say, why didn't you stop while I was getting jumped? That's not the point. That's not the point. Bystander effect, not the point. Basically, what she's saying is, I was in the alley, they were kicking me while I was down, and I just, as there are obviously people walking by this alley, they're on the street, it's a busy street, and I saw you walking. And she basically like, okay, okay,
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. It's like in a movie where like they linger a little bit too long on a random person. You're like, oh, is that person gonna be important? Hmm.
yep,
Hmm.
hmm.
Uh, you, uh, And then she has this crazy line: "The knife cuts both ways. If the shoe fits, walk in it till your high heels break." And she did talk about this line. Well, let me talk about how Taylor talks about it, then you can analyze it. In an Apple Music
Yeah.
interview, she said, "I really love a turn of phrase or a play on words or taking a common phrase and you twist something. One I'd had for a very long time. I think I'd had this one for a couple of years." I'm like, okay, Taylor. Was, quote, "The knife cuts both ways. If the shoe fits, walk in it till your high heels break." So she liked that line. She had it in her head.
Mm-hmm.
So what is she talking about here?
Okay, so once again, does Taylor know we call these Swiftisms? I hope she knows we call them this. Um, but the saying is actually, "The shoe fits, wear it." If New York's in debt, why should Virginia bear it? No, I'm sorry.
Hamilton.
No, but it's the shoe fits, wear it. So basically, it's like you tell someone if the shoe fits, if they're like, everyone thinks I'm crazy insane, and they're like, well, if the shoe fits, you fit that label,
Yeah.
right? So for her, she's like, if the shoe fits, this person that they say that I am, right? Let's imagine the Reputation era. They're calling me crazy, so I'm gonna be crazy. Walk in it, so own it until the shoe itself breaks.
Yeah,
So
until you're
you
free.
embody that until you're free.
Yeah.
Because she's like, it's cutting them and you. So if I take it, I can hurt them with what they use against me. I can take their critiques about me and also hurt them by embodying what they're saying.
Yeah. It was she was not doing well. She is getting cut up in the alley. They are knifing each other, and she's like, "Fine, I will be this cutthroat character if you need me to be. I'll be the drama." And then
I
and
swear I don't
and
love
then
the
what
drama.
happened to her? What happened?
And I fell down the pedestal. I fell from the pedestal right down the rabbit hole. Long story short, it was a bad time. Pushed from the precipice, clung to the nearest lips. Long story short, it was the wrong guy. Now I'm all about you. I'm all about you. I'm all about you. Yeah, yeah. Basically.
Yeah. And yeah, so to be on a pedestal, right, is to be in high regard, right? You put like works
Hmm.
of art, like sculptures on a pedestal. Right? You are above and worshipped even. And she fell. Maybe she got pushed, right? And she didn't just fall to the floor. She went down a deep, dark well with no end, right? Falling down the rabbit hole is a very Alice in Wonderland
Hmm.
expression, which she's sung about in the song Wonderland. Um, you could extend it to her life, right? Her public downfall from post 1989 pre Reputation era.
It could also, it also makes me think now of Guilty as Sin. Um,
Hedge maze,
Once slipped
hedge
and
maze.
fallen back into the hedge maze. Basically, like she's just like, they had me up so high that when I fell, it was just kind of never ending. Um, and she's mentioned this. I can't remember which interview now, but she's like, oh, she was like, I've been lifted up and down the totem pole so much that I know not to like buy into it. And so a part of this chorus is her like being like, this is was my first learning of that type of falling. And it comes right after her high heels break. So she's like, look, I embodied what they said or tried to change. So they were like, you date too much. And she's like, I'm not going to date. And she's walking in those high heels and they break. And then her whole world falls apart. And she goes into the rabbit hole.
Wait, I love that. Actually, bringing that back because you have the contrast between high, like high pedestal, high heels, and then fell
Hmm.
and down. I love that. That's that like you don't recognize it right away, but your brain does. Like, ooh, high heels, and
Hmm.
then they break and you fall. Ooh,
Yep.
I
Yep.
love that. I mean, but
Yep.
you could just say, long story short, it was a bad time, right?
Yeah. And she does this because she's like, my chorus doesn't need to be that long. Like, I don't need to tell you how bad it was. Go back and listen to those albums.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, you can listen to Evermore, the title track, a little later on if you want
Yeah,
to.
and like,
Just
yeah,
go back and listen to
I don't got to rehash that, right?
that.
But
Hmm.
in case you need a little bit of a reminder, I was pushed, right? So it was someone else pushed me from the precipice. So the precipice again is like the edge of a height, right? Of a
Hmm.
building, cliff, right? Stood at the cliffside screaming, "Give me a reason!" And she was pushed off.
Yep. Instead of getting a reason or having somebody to like, you reach the summit and there's nobody else at the summit with you. And Taylor has said she felt that before. And so she was like, and literally she was talking about 2016, if you rewatch Miss Americana. And she's like, I reached like the highest high and I looked around and there's nobody around. And in this song, she's like, nobody around. And the somebody that is around pushed me.
And then, so to try to save myself from falling, right? You want to grab onto some trees or branches or roots or something. I clung to the
Hmm.
nearest lips, right? So I reached out. I just grabbed the nearest person's lips, right? And then this using the lips to represent a person, a relationship. That's another English term that I don't remember, but it represents a human, not just like random lips
Yep.
flying around. Likely a maybe someone from Getaway Car, perhaps. um, and it was the wrong guy. You know what? Like
Yep.
I needed to save myself. I needed a reason, right? I needed to leave. I needed a reason, so I just grabbed on, and it didn't work out. It was the wrong guy. Long story short,
Yeah. Yep.
but it's
But
okay
that's okay.
because long story short, you're the right guy. Like you who walked by the
I'm all
alley.
about you.
Yeah,
I'm all about
I thought.
you. And that repetition of like, now I'm all about you. I'm
Mhm.
all about you. I'm all about you.
I just think clung
Entirely.
to the nearest lips. Long story short, it was the wrong guy. Is hilarious. Like,
It's so
what do
funny.
you mean?
I would be so annoyed. Like I'm just nearest lips. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the storytelling packed into those two lines is crazy. And especially this coming after Cowboy Like Me, right? Now you hang from my lips like the gardens of Babylon. Like that is like another type of
Hmm.
hanging or clinging, but that one's like romantic and sensual and like full of life and growth. And this one's like, I was just trying not to die. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah. She was like, "This is my life, Raph." Anyway,
Anyway,
Hannah,
yeah,
when
a
you
little.
read verse
Anyway,
two,
about you.
anyways, when you read verse two, Hannah, you're gonna get the line that, like, it makes me sad.
Actually, I always felt I must look better in the rear view, missing me at the golden gates they once held the keys to. When I dropped my sword, I threw it in the bushes and knocked on your door, and we live in peace. But if someone comes at us this time, I'm ready.
Ugh. Okay, yeah. It's the I always felt I must look better in the rear view. I think about that line
Yeah.
because a rear view, as in a rear view mirror. So she's like, when people leave me and then think about me, that's the only time I look really good. So she's like,
That she's like covered in the dust that their car is picking up as they drive away.
mm-hmm.
And they don't turn
She's like,
back.
oh, So she's like, people will leave me and then they can reflect on their relationship with me, or they can reflect on who I used to be. So I must look better in the rear view. Taylor has been getting them. I just really enjoyed the old Taylor music every time a new album comes
Mm,
out, and every time that phrase really came about when she went pop, and they're like, I really liked her country stuff, so that even applies there. I always thought I must look better in the review because when she was putting out the country music, some of those same critics were like, we really hate this.
yeah. Yep. And I think what's crazy is like you missing me at the golden gates they once held the keys to. Like you guys were part of my kingdom. I let you in. I gave you the spare key. You could come in anytime. And now you're like, and then you just left. You're like, you just ride away in your fancy cars, and
Mhm.
I was always alone. Like I was trying to open my life up to you, and then you were like, bye.
Exactly. And then when I dropped my sword, as in literally the knife that cut both ways, basically what she was fighting with. She said, when I put it down, when I dropped my sword, I threw it in the bushes right next to your door. Because listen, I know where it is. I know where that sword is, but
I bury
it's in front of your
hatchets, but
door.
I keep maps of where I put them. I throw my
Exactly.
swords, but I keep maps of where I threw them.
I know where it is. I threw it in the bushes and knocked on your door because look, we live in peace. But if someone comes at us, if they come to this door, I know where the sword is.
Yeah, yeah. And I love this idea that like in this one she very much takes that action, right? It's before it was fatefully, but now it's I don't care about fate. A little hint maybe of TS trying to heal, TS12. Right, I threw in the bushes. I knocked on your door, right? Like I was I then you opened up your golden gates presumably, right? And now we live in peace, which is a beautiful statement. Like there's no more war, right? We're gonna see more things that in the bridge, but right, there's no more war. There's peace, reference to peace, the song and folklore, right? Like we are sitting together in the trenches, in everywhere. And if someone comes to try to be this storm that rains on our life, like I'm ready to defend us and for us to stay this we. It's very beautiful.
It's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. And again, she's like, it's even like, look, if fate comes, I'll fight fate. And
Yep.
obviously, we know what happened when she fights fate, but whatever. That's not the point. Anyway, let's do the
Let's do the
bridge
bridge.
because we have the chorus right after, and then he goes into the bridge. No more keeping score. Now I just keep you warm. No more tug of war. Now I just know there's more. No more keeping score. Now I just keep you warm. And my waves meet your shore ever and evermore.
So yeah, this song, I called it part of like there was a little trilogy that I kind of put of songs, which is Call It What You Want, Peace, and Long Story Short. There's a lot of similar imagery here, and it's very apparent in the bridge, right? I'm a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm. That's from Peace. He built a fire just to keep me warm from Call It What You Want, right?
Mhm.
No more tug of war. Um, there's a lot of like attacking imagery in both of those songs, right? I'm laughing with my lover making forts undercover, right? They're trying to protect themselves. In Peace, it's when these
Roberts to the east,
yeah,
Cons
Floods
to
to
the
the
west.
West. Yep, yep. And then no more. And then my waves meet your shore, like when your cascade ocean waves blues come from
Hmm.
Peace. I was about to say well, and yes, from Folklore, and now I'm looking up the Call It What You Want lyrics. Oh yeah. Oh sorry. Other violent imagery, like literally my castle crumbled overnight. I brought a knife to a gunfight. Right. We have knives in this one. The liars are fighting. Right. Da, 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 da. So yeah. So there's a lot of like imagery of them like holding each other and being together and keeping each other warm. Waves meet your shore. Like it's very much like trying to be at a like that we are at a stable relationship where we have a strong foundation and we're gonna move forward. Like it was I thought it was a beautiful like completed trilogy. Little did we know. But at the time I was like wow like the way she's able to connect this imagery is really powerful.
And then the way she's able to then reference back to all three of those songs again on Torture Poets Department. And when we did Torture Poets Department, you can just go re-listen to the old episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love the for this song and also Call It What You Want. I'm happy you bring that up. And Peace, all those songs could be like prototype thesis statements for the albums they're on. They could be like if it was going to have a title track. And though Evermore, the album has a title track, it also name drops Evermore in here, which is like, oh, this is also thesis title track. My Waves Meet Your Shore Ever and Evermore. So always, I know where home is, and it's going to be relaxing, even though waves get like they can get high, they go low. There's low tide, there's high tide, there's like tsunamis. They're always going to hit the same shore. So she's like, this is just going to happen. Evermore, I'll always hit your shore. And also, if you know how waves move, like if you know any kind of science, it's not that the water itself is moving, it's that the energy is moving. So she's like, no matter how much energy is coming at us, it's always going to stop here and transfer. And you're steady even when I'm not. This whole thing. I mean, and then also, if you want to track water imagery in Taylor Swift songs, oh boy, like we could do that. That's fun. It's fun.
We can be going down with the ship. We can be drowning in the Blue Nile. There's Fate of Ophelia is water imagery.
Like, yeah, and it's like the water imagery and the light imagery are kind of intrinsically connected, and they're even connected in this bridge with a warmth. And warmth is related to light and fire, right? Fire keeps your brittle heart warm, and then it's like the warmth and the waves. They're connected here. So it's like, okay, at a moment of stillness and peace, it's there. And we're going to have the light that comes back in that third verse. Hannah?
Past me, I want to tell you not to get lost in these petty things. Your nemesis will defeat themselves before you get the chance to swing. And he's passing by, rare as the glimmer of a comet in the sky, and he feels like home. If the shoe fits, walk in it everywhere you go. So do the chorus. From the pedestal, right down the rabbit hole. Long story short, it was a bad time. Push from the precipice, climbed right back up. Is it up the cliff? Up again? Up.
Yeah, right. Climbed right back up the cliff.
Long story short, I survived, and now I'm all about you. And then out the outro. Long story short, it was a bad time. Long story short, I survived. Which
that was my 2021, my New Year's at the end of 2020, New Year's. January 1st, 2021. That was my caption. Long story short, it was a bad time. Long story short, I survived. 2020 was a bad time.
I feel like it's been used in many, many captions, which I agree. Like, wow. What again, another really succinct summation in just 2 lines. Like, incredible.
Yep. And I love that the chorus changes when she's like, I'm all about you. It changes from clung to the near slips to climb right back up the cliff.
Yeah. Which again,
and I survived.
We started with Fatefully, and we have this I did an action. Like, I defied the fate, and I did something. But yeah, let's back up. So we have verse 3. So looking back at herself, her old self, that was hurtling down the rabbit hole. Hey, don't worry about this alley. Like, just get out. Because you know what? They're going to cut themselves. You don't even have to swing. They're gonna. It's like those, like where like the
trash takes itself out every single time.
Trash takes itself out. Yeah. Or it's like when in the superhero movies where like they turn off the lights and then realize the bad guys are just fighting themselves, And then the superhero is
Hmm.
just like, ha ha ha, right? Like, it's like, yeah, that's gonna happen. Like, these are petty things that are like way beneath you. Like, don't even, because the important thing you need to do is follow that comet, that glimmer.
Exactly. Look, because you don't even have to swing at them because of the type of people they are. They're gonna take themselves out, and you just need. You see the light at the end of the tunnel over there, and he's passing by, which is very funny because the you before this is the he. Like she's talking to her lover. I
Oh,
like in verse 3, she switches it to be like, because she's like, actually, I need to look over here. After she's assured her lover, like, hey, look, my passing on your shore, whatever, forever. She's like, oh, let me tell myself, let me give myself some like hints.
yes.
Um, because it's like a direct look at that first verse again. Um, but this time she's looking back at her first verse and she's like, you see him? Look, he's passing by, and it's rare. And I love that as the glimmer of a comet in the sky. She used to refer to this specific love interest as cause heavenly bodies all the time. Um, so comets and stars and all of this stuff, which comes back into her post department when she's like, I tore light through the whole sky. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, we've had her partners be described as celestial objects before. Um, Snow on the Beach has that whole thing, like, where he's like a planet or whatever, but your eyes are flying saucers from another planet and
mhm.
things like that. Yeah, it's like a heavenly
She loves
glow.
the stars by the pocketful.
Oh,
She loves
yeah.
the celestial body. She
Yeah.
loves the heavenly body.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and look, and she's like, "Hey, look, you. I'm talking to my young self. He's passing you by, and he feels like home. So
Yeah.
go walk in that shoe.
And again,
Go walk in that one."
that also reminds me of Call It What You Want, right? My babies fly like a jet stream, high above the whole scene, loves me like I'm brand new. So call it what you want, call it what you want to, right? Because he's right, he's above all this pettiness, right? He's
Mhm.
and he loves me, and he's walking to me. Karma is the guy on the screen coming straight home to me, right? This idea of home is so important to her. Sweet Nothing also kind of, it gives me Sweet Nothing vibes, where um, he's not worried about the smooth, what is it, smooth,
Talking
yeah,
hucksters and industry.
disruptors and smooth
Oh my
talking
god,
hussers. There we go, right? And it's
out flattering each
mm-hmm,
other.
right. But you all you ever wanted from me was Sweet Nothing, right? Like you're like above that, and um, that's
Yep.
that's that kind of
And
home vibe.
yeah, and I love the bringing back the if the shoe fits, walk in it. Because at
Yes.
first she's like doing that to try. She's like, I am going to hurt them the way they hurt me by walking in those shoes they let out until her high heels broke. But here she's like walking it everywhere you go because these are comforting shoes. These are house slippers.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the high heels, maybe uh I was kind of had like like the stepsisters in Cinderella, just to shove her feet in and just walk in it. And the only way I could get out of these is by breaking them, right? Like I thought I could walk in them forever, and I tried to, but they broke, and I broke, and I fell down. But here, look,
Yep.
these shoes, they fit great. They are versatile. They go with every outfit, and I'm very happy.
Yep. And I love with the chorus and the post chorus and the outro is that she doesn't say, it's good that these things happen to me. She doesn't say, long story short, I learned my lesson. It was just, long story short, it was really bad,
It was bad.
but I survived. And that is the key. It's not like I deserve to go through any of those things, or it's not a bad things happen for a reason type lesson. It is, look, I got through
Yep.
it. That's it.
Literally,
And
literally.
yeah, and it's also like not like the fight she got in was to get to the person. He was just walking by. Like
Yep.
it just so happened.
Yeah. And then she climbed up the cliff. Good for you, girl.
Hmm.
Like you did that.
Yay.
Yeah. And I love a good chorus change at the end. I love all the alliterations, right down the rabbit hole, right? Push from the precipice, climb up the cliff. Long story
Hmm.
short, I survived. Yeah, so just what a great song.
Short and sweet, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to see if
But
there's
yeah,
I'm trying to see if there's any
That
other
I always
tidbits.
look better in the review does just genuinely, it makes me sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, like the way she sings it, it just
Yeah,
makes me sad a little bit.
the way she sings it, you can tell how content she is. It reminds me a bit of Invisible
Hmm.
String. This, like, if Peace is full of quavering, like has a layer of quavering anxiety, right? Long story short is a lot more like Call It What You Want in terms of feeling like very secure, and Invisible String too. Like, you can hear the more peaceful nature of those songs.
I agree.
Yeah. So, do you have any final thoughts or emoji thoughts?
Hmm. I would love to see some planets.
Oh, cute. Yeah. Celestial bodies, like you said.
Yes.
So, yeah. Maybe not a star, but like a comet or a planet. Like, yeah. I love that. I
Hmm.
love that. That's a great
Yep.
idea. So next week is Marjorie, right? Track 13. So,
Um, I don't know if are we gonna do Marjorie, Hannah?
we'll see. That song is very sensitive. It is a lot about, obviously, it's about the death of a grandmother. So, uh, stay tuned. There will be an episode next week, but we will let you know. Well, you guys will be surprised. Surprised. Um,
Surprise.
Another reason is I will be traveling next week, so we're not sure when the next episode will be released, but we will let you know on our social media platforms. If you're binging this, then you just play the next episode. Good for works for
Yep.
you. But if you are a week to week listener, please note that we may have to delay a week because I have some family travels. But we are so excited to continue this album with you guys, and thank you so much for listening.
Bye.